Good morning, friends of the internet. Today, we are back in the world of Tank's Garage, and today I want to have a little conversation. Today's video is going to be something that I normally don't do, but I wanted to kind of show this to you guys. This ain't going to be about, strategy or anything like this, or like high numbers of damage or anything. What I want to talk about today that I seem to struggle sometimes on Xbox is teamwork. Teamwork in reading a map location, seeing where there's a weak side and a strong side. Teamwork as in keep your tanks alive. So much I'm like, let's say we're playing a tier 8 and I'm bottom tier and I play up to tier 10. I feel like when I play tier 10, all those tier 8s that's in my lobby, I feel like I put out 110% to try to stay alive and hold my place as a tier 10, because the only way those poor tier 8s are going to win sometimes is if they get carried sometimes by a tier 9 and a tier 10. So when I'm tier 8, I look for my tier 10s to hold up their end of the bargain too. So today we're going to kind of look at some of the different strategies that is involved with like staying alive and maximizing the use of your tank on the battlefield versus just running out and, as some people like to say, shit the bed. Just flat go out and get themselves killed. Because to me, I feel like if you're in a tier 10 and you have one clean shot, especially in something like an E4, that's 900 damage. There's no reason you shouldn't have some amount of damage on the board. Now, I understand there is cases that if you accidentally run around a corner and you get one-shotted by, say, a 183 or maybe a T92 artillery, gets lucky and gets a lucky shot on you. In those occasions, it happens. But I've seen multiple games where people just run out and get annihilated in a tier 10. And I always wonder, like, what is their team strategy? What are they doing to help the team? Because this is not an individual game, by all means. You have to have a strong team. Even if you have a 5-man platoon, I played the other day in a platoon of 5 chieftains with high personal ratings, and we lost the match to a cap because they chose not to put themselves in a position to hold up the team. They went completely around the map and we got capped out. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at a couple different gameplays today and show you the difference between teamwork and no teamwork. Alright guys, so this match starts off as any normal match. I feel pretty confident in the fact I have a platoon mate and I'm in an E4. There really shouldn't be any problem with them pushing the far right side because it is quite of a climb to get up that hill, so I'm really not too concerned. We got 215, a Bad Chad, a 4005 WT off E4. I mean, nothing like, we don't have like a platoon of WT offs or anything. This is a pretty standard looking map. So I got my platoon mate, and here he is in his tier 8. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm trying to help him get a win. I'm helping him kind of try to grind out a little bit. Artie's going to their position and everything. And I'm spawning down here on the bottom, and a lot of tanks are spawned up here on the top. So they're going to do what they normally do, which is push over to the left-hand side. So as we kind of like start popping up here, I got this slow climb, and he's going to get up there a lot sooner than I am. So I'm not going to really be in the fight too soon, but there's already things being detected. And I'm thinking, okay, that's normal. I'm in my E4. It's a little slower to get up the hill. These guys are just trying to like posture and get in some good positions. So as we come up onto the hill, we can see that our team is pushed out there like normal. Everything's looking normal, but you can only see we've got 2 tanks going to the right-hand side to go up on the hill. But I'm really not too concerned about it because usually not a lot of people go up onto the hill to try to flank around to get to the cap. They usually just go up there just to kind of get some eyes on things and shoot down on the thing. So we're all spread out pretty even across the middle. And I see a couple guys taking shots, and I'm not too concerned. We've lost 1 tank. I find out that I'm on this cliff. So we're already down 1 tank. Now I want you to take note of the time. We're at 13 minutes and 28 seconds on the countdown, and we've already lost 1 tank. Okay? So I'm trying to get into position, and I'm seeing a lot of markers coming up of people getting shot. And these guys are continuing to push. Well, I'm a tank destroyer, so I'd like to set back here a little bit and look at all those numbers pouncing up. All those green numbers popping up. And now we just lost another tank in the middle. And I'm like, okay, I'm not too concerned. Another tank goes down. So now I see this E4 I'm going to try to put a shot into him. He starts to back up. I hit him for 900. No big deal. But we are down 4 tanks, and we're at the 13-minute mark, just under the 13-minute mark of this. So I'm trying to stay moving around because I see this E4. So I'm trying to stay focused on it. So I'm like, okay, let's just get control. We're 4 tanks down. We can come back from this. I just literally got into position. Okay. We're rolling down to the 12-minute mark. We've got 1 tank up on the ridge line to our, or 2 tanks up on the ridge line to our right. So I'm not too concerned. Somebody else gets shot. He's screaming SOS. I'm like, then why are you guys pushing up so strong if you're kind of getting overwhelmed there? So the 215B is pretty much one shot. Now all these people are converging out into the open instead of like digging in. Then I see a bat chat up on the top, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, we could be in potential problem here. So I decide to kind of look over there, and I tell my platoon mate, you might want to watch over there, see if you can get some shots. So I see these guys still moving in. We're down 5 tanks, and we're at just under the 12-minute mark. So 3 minutes, we've already lost 6 tanks at this point. So what is going on? Like, I don't understand. Does this platoon of 4 believe that they were unstoppable and just run out to their death? We're down another tank, which is our artillery. So now we're even more in trouble. So I start to think, well, I'm the only guy back here with my platoon mate to protect the flag. I hope those guys are okay. Now, this is not what I want to have to do, is go back and try to defend the base while those guys are still pushing over. There goes another tank. We still have not killed one of their tanks, and it's still 11 minutes. We're just at the 4-minute mark of this game, and we're down another tank and another tank. What is going on? I don't understand. So at this point, I'm still under the priority of just trying to defend the base. So me and my platoon mate, we're just going to set over here. We're going to try to see if we can kill these guys. Another tank plummets. I can't even go 100 feet without getting another tank killed. What is going on? Now I see the T-54, which is kind of a problem for me because I've got to hit him 1 shot here to really damage him, and hopefully my platoon mate can watch me. And then it bounces, and I was like, oh no, he's going to rush me now. My platoon mate misses as well. Now, it's just me and him left, and we are at 10.5 minutes left on the clock. It staggers me how teams can run out in this game and get destroyed so easy. So I tried to snap to him again. He got just behind that rock, and I missed his thing, so I'm trying to stay behind him. I'm hoping the platoon mate will kind of just help me out. I'm tracking him. I'm trying to turn the target. I see another one coming, which is the bat chat, which is more of a priority target to me than he is. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to try to get a shot into him. My platoon mate goes down. I'm going to get 1 shot into him. I'm just getting round after round. We are inundated. We can't even kill 1 tank. I don't want the light tank, so I try to ram him, get a couple more points. I'm almost dead. And I get turned, but I'm still taking rounds from behind. I try to ram him 1 more time, and I die. What happened? What happened to the team? We could not even muster 1 kill in a tier 10 match. We only did 1,900, and I am top of the team. Look at these stats, guys. An E75, 445, 704, 886. The 215 that got caught on fire was the only one that was really doing anything over there. Our bat chat, our tier 10 bat chat, could only muster up 778. That thing hits for 400 each shell, and it carries a 5-round clip. Let's look at some of these guys. So we look at the top guys. Look at what they're firing. 4 rounds, hit 3, only pinned 1. 2 rounds, pinned 1. 1 round, pinned 1. It's like, where is the support on this? Look at all our tier 9s. Our 62A did nothing. Our AMX did nothing. Our Conqueror did nothing. Like, I just struggle looking at this scoreboard of these kind of matches. So if I can say anything about teamwork, guys, these tier 8 guys count on us tier 9s and tier 10s, and vice versa. If you're going all the way down into like tier 5s and you're in a tier 7, those tier 5s and tier 6s are counting on you to help. You're the knowledgeable players to actually be able to pull out these wins for some of these guys and to help them along. But you cannot be in a tier 10. You can't own a tier 10 tank go into a tier 10 game and do this poorly. Like, you have enough seat time in a tier 10 that this shouldn't be the situation. Look at their whole team. Their whole team was consistently across the board. One tank didn't do anything, and that was the 4005, which basically could have missed one of his shots and didn't score anything. But across their whole board, there's only 2 tanks that went under 1,000. That's it. Or 3 tanks, because the FV 4005 didn't even score anything. That is how tier 10 players are supposed to play. Not like this. Like I said, this is what's known as shit in the bed right here. This is just unacceptable. As a team member, I'm disgraced to actually be a part of this. To be proud of 969 in an E4 is just garbage to me. But I'm the top of the team because I hit a couple of shots. 2 shots. That's it. So let's go ahead. We're going to look at the flip side of this coin now with the next gameplay. And we're going to see how a team works together well, like obviously their team did. We're going to see how a team works well together to pull out a quick win. Now, this match starts off just the same. We're actually looking at, we're about 12 tanks, I think it is. 2, 4, about 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 12 tanks. So we're a little short of a full lobby. But now we're going to see how a team that knows what they're doing, actually doesn't go out there and just get slaughtered, and they understand the teamwork value of reading the map and understanding when something tragic has happened with on the map that's going to force their hand to do something that they normally wouldn't do. So this game starts off fairly normally. We got a light tank clear off to the right. We've got a couple base tanks hanging back in the back. We got a medium that looks like he's possibly going to the bridge. We got a guy going far left. And I'm going to go up and peek the corner here like I normally would. Now, I usually don't do this in this kind of tank because I can't get the corner fast enough. I'd prefer a bat chat or a light tank to be able to do this. But no worries. I'm going to go up there and take a peek anyways. Now, we can see the guy to our left pushed way over there. So he's trying to get some easy, quick spots as well by being up there on that little ridge line. So I pull up, try to see if I can get some binoc set here really quick. We're looking, I see the tree fall, so I let it set, and I don't see where he's at. So I try not to let it set, and I still don't see it. I'm like, where's this guy at? And then just as I see him, he pops up on the radar and shoots me in the track, and then I take a round from the artillery. So well played by that artillery to pre-aim that corner and be ready for that shot. I didn't think that I couldn't see that 61. He must have a better camo weight rating than I do. So I'm trying to see if I can get one shot. I'm feeling like at this particular moment, I'm ready for payback on this T61. Oops, he messed up. So at this point, I tell my platoon mate, okay, I paid that prick back for getting me shot. So I felt pretty good. So at this point, I can see that they're pretty heavy over there on that right or that left-hand side. And they're pushing around there pretty good. So I look at the map and I see these guys aggressively pushing across the bridge. Now this normally never pays off. And I'm looking at the bridge like, man, do they got no one to sit there? So I look to see what it is. I see it's an STB-1. And I'm looking at the bridge, and I see another guy going across, and I see another one down below in the river valley that's pushed around and hasn't seen anything. So I'm feeling pretty confident. I keep looking at the map right here to see if things are in control there. And then all of a sudden, I'm starting to see a lot of tanks there. So I'm thinking, I'm going to run over here and try to support them, hopefully. So I'm going to see if I can get a shot here at the corner if they come around the corner. But then I see there's a 110. Then I see the Bravo, and they're all postured up fairly good. So at this point, I'm thinking, I'm going across. I look to my right. I see the artillery goes down. I look to my right, and I see that the E5 is not finding any resistance there. So I'm thinking this is the perfect strategy for us to push. And I see him pinging the map because at this point, I see that our left side's fallen. So we've got to drive on. So at this point, I'm telling my platoon mate, go straight to the flag. Do not stop. Try to just drive right by everything and get right to the flag. We're going to just like push through. And I'm hoping that somebody else will come with us and we'll cap the flag. The E5 is still going to the right. So at this point, I'm still communicating with my platoon mate. We got to go, we got to go, we got to go. So I'm trying to be aggressive here to get these guys to realize that we got to do this. It's a 183 trying to pre-aim this corner. So I kind of let the VK go up. I'm looking. The guy shoots. I put a shot into him, sets him on fire. Now he burns out and dies. So I go ahead and I'm going to push up to this E5. I'm trying to just blow my way up here. So I'm like trying to buy a couple of minutes of time here because I'm thinking we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. Now these guys are sitting there trying to push up and shoot this this 183 as well. I get a nice shot on the E5. The 183 dies. I get him down weak. They push around. They go. So now let's go. Let's go to the flag. So at this point, the E5 is pushed all the way around and is getting onto the flag. And I see stuff trying to fall back to defend it, but we got to go. Now, thank God. Now watch how the teamwork works. The E5 gets off the flag, which I felt was kind of a mistake. I take one round here from the back, skips off the side of me. The STB1 and me, we just continue on. We're not even looking. We're just going all the way to the flag. My platoon mate gets behind me, helps push me along. We're going to get on the flag. The E4 or the E5 is going to sit there and try to hold point. He decides he's going to try to stop any kind of resistance that comes. We get onto the flag. Look at the time. We're at 11-minute mark. We're 3 minutes into this game. I turn, I posture up, I wait. The E5 is sitting there to help protect us. We got 3 on the cap. We got 20 seconds till victory. So this is a perfect example of how we knew at that particular moment we had to push. And I used my tier 10 to clear a path at that bridge so that we could get here, so that I could bring a platoon mate and this other medium to get on this base and get this W. The E5 is sitting there standing his ground, trying to make sure nothing comes in and gets us. And we pull off the victory because we was able to notice that the flag had fallen, or the map had fallen on the left-hand side, and we were able to make the decision to make the strong push. Now, again, we're not talking damage on this, but we still did 3,067 damage in that short amount of gameplay. That's how I feel tier 10s need to be able to hold up their end of the bargain at tier 10. They have no excuses. You have to be able to hold up your end on your team as a tier 10 to get those W's and to be the leader. At tier 10, you are the leader of the team. And if you guys continue to go out and just get destroyed, that's not a good leader, I feel, in World of Tanks for teamwork. A lot of tanks count on you to be able to hold up that end, because at tier 10, let me kind of explain tier 10. Tier 10 is like the payoff of all your hard grinding. When you get up to tier 8, tier 9, those are really tough grinds to make, and most of those cannons don't really pin very well at tier 10, and it's a struggle. And when you continue to lose matches because your tier 10s fall repeatedly, match after match after match, it's very hard to level up a tank when you need hundreds of thousands of experience to be able to level up to the next tier versus only a few thousand when you're at those lower tiers. And it makes it very difficult when you're only earning 400 and 300 experience because you're taking consistent losses. So if I can say anything today, guys, is at tier 10, support your team. You've got to be the leader of the team. You've got to be the person to protect your tank. You've got to be the person to be able to read the map, to be able to say, okay, we've got to make this aggressive play. And that's what I did at that particular point, is I wanted to push through there, cause as much damage as I could on my way, and try to make sure that I could be the leader for my team to say, we got to get on the flag. And the STB saw it too. As a leader, he went with me as well at tier 10. We did just a little bit of damage. Like I said, I only hit like maybe a few shots, and that was it. And we still did 3,000 damage. So, end result is 2 polar opposite gameplays. So sorry today has been kind of just, talking about strategy of this game, but I kind of felt like I've been grinding out the Conqueror, and we've got footage of the Conqueror coming, and Conqueror is one of the worst grinds I've ever I've done in tier, in World of Tanks, tier for tier. And I've seen a lot of this over the last couple days. Like, I've spent like probably 3 strong days, like a lot of time grinding tanks to grind through that tier. And I've seen a lot of gameplay where we have just went out and tier 10s have just like dropped the ball every like game after game after game. And it gets very frustrating. And so sorry that I kind of had to like show this video today, but I kind of feel like if you're going to be a tier 10, be a leader for your team. Be a good team player and try to get those W's for your team. You'll get more credits, more rewards, more free experience, more upgrades on your tank, stripes on your barrel. I mean, there's so many rewards to pay off versus just dying every match. So I hope this was kind of educational for you guys, that you could see the polar opposites of how teams can work and not work together. And hopefully you learned a little something today. If you did, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. That way you know when we're posting new YouTube content, when we're live streaming. You haven't checked us out on Twitch or YouTube Gaming, come hang out, be part of the audience. If you're new to those channels, smash those follow buttons. So until next time, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll see your faces on the battlefield. Thanks so much, guys, for checking out my video. If you enjoyed that video, hit that thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe for future videos.